4 years. And that lets you save.
Look here.
True Form Life.
Green look on it.
Welcome to Exploring Mind and Body with Drew Tadia. Drew is an expert in nutrition, fitness, lifestyle, and more. And he wants to help you live a healthier, longer, and more active life. Now here's your host, Drew Tadia.
Welcome to another edition of nationally syndicated Exploring Mind and Body. Thanks so much for being here. Thank you for tuning in and being a part of our True Form Life community. Today we're talking to Dr. Kyla from Central Health Chiropractic Center in Airedale, and she's been sending over a handful of amazing guests right from her clinic. And of course, they're supported here of Exploring Mind and Body as well, so we wouldn't have a show without them. It's great to have that support. We love to come together and support the community and one another. I've actually had the opportunity to visit her clinic and had treatments from not only Dr. Kyla, but some of her other practitioners as well. So it's great for me to have experience and give you a chance to share with how great their clinic is. Now, Dr. Kyla is going to talk about the benefits of chiropractic care. A lot of people may be scared of it, may be unsure of how it can help or what it can do for you. So I'm going to give you a chance to look inside from the inside up and have an idea of what it's like to get treatment, what it's like to see the benefits, to know where Dr. Kyla came from and why she's doing what she's doing now. Always interesting to me. So sit back and enjoy. We got all that coming up on...
This is Exploring Mind and Body. Naturally improve your lifestyle one show at a time with your host, Drew Tadia.
All right, welcome to another edition of nationally syndicated Exploring Mind and Body. You heard all about Dr. Kyla in the introduction. She's here with us online. Welcome to the show, Dr. Kyla.
Hi, Drew. Thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. Now, we've had some of your practitioners come on previously. Now we get a chance to talk to you, and we're going to have some more come on after you as well. But I do want to say thank you so much for being here with us and sending some of your practitioners over for interviews.
No problem. We have a really great team here. I'm really proud of them.
Dr. Kyla, I want to give our audience a chance to resonate with you a little bit. Tell us how you got into chiropractic care and what led you to what you're doing now.
I grew up as a pretty competitive athlete, and I was commuting back and forth on the weekends for training and ended up having a pretty significant car accident when I was 16. And I had sort of gone through different types of treatment to try and get better and get myself back into the pool and back as a competitive water polo player. And the thing that made the difference for me and helped me the most was chiropractic care. And I remember my chiropractor saying, "Oh, you're not going to be a medical doctor. You're going to be a chiropractor. Just you wait and see." And I was like, no, I don't think so. And then I remember in second year university thinking, I have to email Dr. Dale. He needs to write me a reference letter to get into chiropractic school.
But then you had to let him know he was right.
I know. But best decision, and I've been really happy in the profession, and I feel as though it was best and the right decision for me and for my life, and hopefully for the lives of my patients.
What kind of injuries did you have?
I had some pretty severe whiplash and some nerve impingement, which led to me not being able to feel my arms when I would swim.
True Form Life.
All right, so I want to tell you about the Silver Fern Aesthetic and Vein Clinic. Now, they specialize in a few areas. One is skincare. They'll tell you the difference between professional skincare and over-the-counter skincare. This is something that they specialize in, as well as offering education to their customers and clients. Mineral makeup is one of their non-toxic type of products. They have no talc, perfume, dyes, alcohol, or anything else that may clog your pores. They also specialize in varicose and spider veins. I actually had the opportunity to stop in there, and they helped me better understand who's more likely to get them, how to treat them, and even how to prevent them. And then they also offer detoxing products and services such as their universal contour wrap. They offer a clay solution. This gets rid of toxins, increases your energy levels, and much more. If you want more details, visit their Facebook page at Silver Fern Aesthetic and Vein Clinic. They're also offering free consultations from Dr. Jackson and their other skincare professionals. You can find them in Didsbury across from the train station, or you can give them a call at 403-335-8829.
True Life.
So I could swim for 3 to 5 minutes, and then I would lose all the feelings in my arms. And as a water polo player and competitive swimmer, that was pretty important.
No kidding. And so you went through chiropractic care yourself, and that was that really made a difference in your recovery?
Absolutely. I had tried some of I come from a very medical family, a very medical background. And so my parents thought that I should have physiotherapy and massage, which were all helpful in my healing. But the thing and the treatment that made the most significant improvement was seeing the chiropractor and correcting the curvature that had occurred from the injuries I sustained and improving the nerve function from my neck, which then improved my arm function, and the feeling returned in my arms and hands, and that's what led me down this path.
So you said that you had a background in medicine, like your parents are, or I'm not exactly sure. So your parents are medical doctors?
My mom is, or I guess she's retired now, but my mom was a nurse, and she spent a lot of time obviously in hospital care and working side by side with doctors, and my sister is an intensive care nurse as well. So is that something my dad doesn't like to talk to us at the dinner table.
And is that something that you were planning on going into before you found this chiropractic?
No, I had planned on I had wanted to be a psychiatrist. That was sort of what my focus was, always sciences in high school, and making sure that I had top grades, and same thing with going into university. I did my bachelor's degree in biochemistry and microbiology with the intent of going into medical school. I just, over time and years and experience and talking with a lot of friends who were also trying to get into medical school, I thought, there's something that's holding me back maybe. And I just kept having this feeling that maybe the day-to-day ability to be able to feel and have the relationships with the patients that I had with my chiropractor kind of pushed me to have that change in mindset. The thing that makes my job so wonderful is the patients.
Where did the idea come from to run a clinic? That's always interesting to me. A lot of practitioners would work in a clinic or just do it on their own. You decided to have other practitioners around you. How did that decision come up?
Well, when I first graduated chiropractic school, I had a mentor chiropractor in Calgary who I had sort of touched base and would shadow him in his office while I was still a student. So when I was on break, and I would go to his clinic and see what things were like and how he ran his office. And in his clinic, there was a massage therapist. And I sort of thought, well, that's a really nice adjunctive treatment. I think that would really make sense.
I couldn't be more excited to share with you that True Form will be teaming up with the CLC Fitness Center. We'll be teaching a couple of classes there if you'd like to catch us in person. We have a Wednesday noon class for 30 minutes called Chiseled, perfect for the busy professional that only has a short lunch break for a boost in the middle of the week or middle of the day. And then we have a Monday-Wednesday beginner boot camp class at 6 p.m. using functional movements to get you the results you're looking for. These are just a couple of the classes that the CLC Fitness Center offers to our local community. Spin is always popular, as is kickboxing. They also have HitFit, seniors classes, and more. If you're looking for a boost of energy this winter and a boost of motivation, the CLC Fitness Center offers all kinds of options from indoor walking tracks to personal training. Visit communitylearningcampus.ca for more details or call them at 403-507-7782.
And so when I finished school and I worked there as an associate, it was just so great to be able to have practitioners just down the hall so you could discuss a specific case or, come up with a good treatment plan. And, I found this today. What did you find? Or how do you feel as though this is improving or changing? And I just think that for the overall health and wellness, not just one person can be sort of the fix. It's the body's complicated, as everyone knows, and I think surrounding yourself with people who can all contribute something makes it better for the good of the patient.
I was just going to say, when you bring in different practitioners, I know you have a wide variety of different practitioners. Is that something that you plan ahead? Like, this is a different type of practitioner I'm looking for? Or maybe they're looking for you and they say, are you in need of someone that offers services like I have? Right.
I think honestly over the last few years it's worked both ways. The orthotic specialist, Dan, and I've worked with him at another clinic, and so in Calgary. So when I knew I was starting my own place, I approached Dan and said, we've had a great working relationship. I really think you'd be beneficial. Would you consider joining the team? And that made sense. And I'd similarly with massage therapists, some had come from the clinics in Calgary and some I've had to seek out when there's maternity leave coverage or we're growing and expanding the team. And, sometimes, every person has their own sort of specialty, and it's nice to have that variety in the clinic, like cupping, for example, or, Jackie has some really interesting specialties in regards to Chinese medicine and gua sha. And then I think it's not just what we do on the outside, it's also what we do on the inside. And so that's where Jody has played a big part in the world of holistic nutrition and having some really great conversations with patients in a different way than what we do from sort of a manual therapy side. But it was Dr. Kayla, the osteopath, who actually came to me and said, I really like your website, and I really like what your clinic is trying to sort of aspire to and provide to the community. Do you have any room for an osteopath to join your team? And, so it really does go back and forth.
So let's get into some more details about what chiropractic care is. I think that, I suppose it depends where you are. Like Eastern Canada, for example, we have some family there and they say it's a bit newer than the West. Mm-hmm. I think we're here in Alberta. I think a lot of people know what it is or had treatments before, but for those that may not know exactly or specifically what it is, how would you explain that to someone that's just kind of thinking about it?
So I think that there's different approaches to chiropractic care as well, and that similar to massage is that not all practitioners practice the same way. So I can speak to sort of how my style of practice is, where it's sort of categorized as diversified. So we, at the end of the day, are basically neurology experts, not like a neurologist who's a medical doctor, but how the body's neurology, brain, spinal cord, spinal nerves all talk and communicate to what makes your body go.
As a longtime family-owned business here in Olds, I think it's more important than ever to support local business. Hi, Aaron here from The Tire Shop. By shopping at a locally owned small business, you're supporting those who give back to the community by supporting organizations like charity groups, local fundraisers, minor hockey and figure skating, gymnastics, and other clubs your children participate in to learn and grow. This, of course, supports local wages and local incomes in order for families to prosper in local businesses and to keep our town alive. If it costs you an extra dollar, it's a dollar that goes back to the community and keeps the local economy thriving. So go grab a cup of coffee or a sub, maybe even a case of beer at your locally owned business today and keep this conversation going. Because it's the heart of the community. The Tire Shop, always trying to give a helping hand.
True Form Life.
So whether it's how your spinal nerves talk to your muscles, how your muscles and bones and joints all work together, how your brain can communicate, how function of digestion or heartburn or sleep can be affected by the power horse of your body, which is the brain. And we sort of look at the whole picture and try to have the body work and function at its best so it's best able to heal itself and with the best biomechanical sort of function and efficiency. So the way I kind of describe this is if you think about a garden hose, for example, and the tap is your brain. And say your garden hose is, straight in some spots and kinked in others, and you're wondering why, the flow at the end of your garden hose isn't as powerful as it should be. And well, if you go back and take out all the kinks and make sure that there's nice sort of roundedness to your garden hose, and then you turn that tap on, the flow at the end is going to be far more powerful. And what we do, or what I do, is look for kinks along the garden hose, which would be your spine, and adjust certain areas accordingly, take those kinks out. So when your brain receives the information and is trying to send out the signals it needs to the rest of your body, that it does that with full power.
So what do you say to someone I've heard this in the past about cracking?
Mm-hmm.
I'd imagine you have as well. What do you tell people that may be in fear or may be deterred from the noise, from the motion? How does that work in your field?
So I always tell patients that we can adjust you without ever hearing that cracking sound if that's what you would like. And there are certain tools and methods to be able to do that. But what that actual sound is actually gas bubbles being released within the joint. It has nothing to do with bones rubbing on bones or bones breaking or bones crunching or anything like that. It is within the joint. When we restore proper movement and function, those gas bubbles are released after that impulse, and that's the audible sound that sometimes you hear and sometimes you don't. So, for example, in perhaps a patient who is a senior or is more elderly, or it's not safe to adjust them where you would hear those pops or cracks, depending on what their medical history is, then there's still a lot of other things and tools and techniques that we can do and use to restore that function without hearing a crack at all. So I think it's always important from a patient's perspective to express their fear and their concern, and that the practitioner will listen to that and then adjust and modify according to the patient's wishes.
So these are gas bubbles. I never heard of that. What is there always? Like, why are we getting rid of, and why are they there?
Right. So it's basically fluid exchange. So you could imagine that. So it's hard without a visual to try and describe this. Usually I try and move my hands in a certain way to. So if bones and joints have moved and shifted in a way that isn't their normal sort of placement, I'll say, then when you have gas exchange, which happens in all cells in our body, right, then they can build up and sort of have this pressure.
I couldn't be more excited to be working with a brand new sponsor here on Exploring Mind and Body. Airedale Wellness Clinic in Red Deer has all kinds of awesome things going on that I'd love to tell you about. Dr. Candace Stanek, a naturopathic doctor, has teamed up with Stephen Roberts, a brain spotting therapist. It's like two superpowers coming together, and I think you'd be hard-pressed to find two holistic practitioners more excited to help you out. Outpatient programs for addictions include yoga, fitness, meal prep, acupuncture, and massage. Core packages will consist of naturopathic, counseling, and massage services in order to address the origin of issues and help treat the whole person. Conditions treated include addictions, women's health, concussions, sports performance, anxiety, and depression. For more details, visit UdeaWellnessClinic.com or call them at 587-457-5669.
True Life.
So it's not like a gas bubble that you would think would be inside your abdomen, right? If you feel some pressure and you can kind of feel things moving on your stomach or in your intestines, right? It's not those types of gas bubbles. These are tiny, tiny, tiny so when fluid's moving in and out, but it can't do so at the proper rate and speed, then they can build up. So when we adjust in that certain segment, and we're sort of restoring the normal position, then that's what that audible is, just the gas bubbles kind of.
So when you're feeling like you're adjusting me now on a regular basis, I had whiplash myself. When you're you're touching my spine, like rubbing on my spine. I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly. What are you looking for? What are you feeling for?
We're assessing. We try not to use the word rub.
Okay. Okay.
From a professional standpoint, Drew.
Okay. Sorry about that. It's very professional. It's very.
So I remember the first day of chiropractic school. They said to us, your hands will be so in tune with what you are feeling over the years with practicing, with just assessing so many different patients. You will be able to feel a strand of hair under 20 sheets of like computer paper. And we're all like, oh, okay, yeah, Princess and the Pea, whatever. And it is crazy what you can feel. We're feeling temperature changes. We're feeling changes in position of those spinal bones. We're feeling changes in muscle tension from side to side. And we listen to what you say, and even just from looking at someone, face to face, oh, your right shoulder is high. Oh, that must mean that this muscle is probably tight. Oh, if this muscle is probably tight, then most likely then this rib is not where it's supposed to be, and that rib attaches to this spinal bone, and so maybe there's some rotation or change in bend in that bone. Okay, well, let's go there. Let's check that first. And it's just sort of this pathway that we've been trained to do and to look for. The body is so fascinating.
So when you're assessing, are you deciding on how you're going to make an adjustment, or or do you make a similar adjustment to everyone?
Every person is different, but we all have patterns. And so I think sometimes there's a misnomer in that, oh, I get the same adjustment every time. Well, often that is the case because of what we are exposed to and what activities we do.
Slash Lacrosse is a locally owned, family-run specialty store. They provide a huge selection of lacrosse equipment and cater to new, professional players and everyone in between. At Slash Lacrosse, their goal is to grow the great game of lacrosse by sharing their love and knowledge of the sport through exceptional customer service. They are proud to have acquired new brands and have grown their customer base substantially over the last 6 years. They are committed to customer satisfaction and are confident they have the equipment to get the future lacrosse star in your family suited up and on the floor. One of their goals with Slash is to be able to provide all the equipment necessary right here in our community so you don't have to drive to a bigger city. Red Deer has a senior ladies program as well that are always looking for new recruits. This is a perfect group of women for lacrosse moms who want to join. No experience necessary. For more details, call 403-347-5274 or visit slashlacrosse.ca. They're active on Facebook and Instagram, where they're always posting new and exciting products arriving at Slash.
Trueform Life.
When something new or different happens, normally I would say like, whoa, what happened to your left hip this month? Like, what have you been doing? Oh, I've been shoveling snow for my neighbor and myself because they're away on holidays. But that's not their normal pattern. That's not their body's normal response because it's not one of their normal actions. So every visit we do an assessment and see what are we going to treat.
Well, one of the things I think is great about your clinic is that you can come in and you can see yourself or whether it's someone else, a massage therapist, for example, and then you guys can kind of work together and refer one another or refer clients to each other if that's a good fit for their treatment.
Absolutely.
And is that something that you guys kind of play off or feed off of, that you can help one another out and refer clients back and forth if they need it?
I think that's sort of the goal of a group practice is, giving patients the most options available, because what I do for one person might not work for somebody else. And so at least being able to say to a patient, you know what, you've had this low back pain for 5 visits now. What I'm doing is not working. What you're doing at home is not working. Well, maybe we should send you to the osteopath. Maybe she'll have a different perspective. And then vice versa. Massage therapists will say, I've worked on this like 3 visits now. It's not releasing. I think this patient needs to be adjusted a few times and then send them back. And, it's very patient-centered, not practitioner-centered.
All right, Dr. Kyla, it's time to wrap things up here. I just want to give you a chance to mention your website, or if someone wants to learn more about you guys or even book in, how would they get a hold of you guys, or what else you guys have going on?
Well, our website is centralhealth.ca. We're located on Main Street in Airedale, and it's pretty exciting actually because of the wonderful practitioners in the office and our longstanding relationship with patients in Airedale and surrounding area. We are actually expanding to a new location, which is just 1 block away, which will be happening at the end of April. And there'll be news and details about that on our website. We do have online booking for massage available presently as well for the holistic nutrition. And then chiropractic and osteopath, just give the clinic a call, 403-912-5115.
Awesome, Dr. Kyla. Thank you so much for coming on and being a part of Exploring Mind and Body.
Thanks for having me. Have a great afternoon.
Trueform Life.
All right, that's going to wrap things up for this edition of Exploring Mind and Body. Once again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being a part of our Trueform Life community and sticking around till the end. I want to thank Dr. Kyla for coming on the show. She's helping us support the show in many different ways. As I've mentioned before, she's done treatment for me. She's helped me get back on track physically. She's also supporting the show Exploring Mind and Body. It's important for us to work with local practitioners and businesses so we can keep bringing you these interviews and these conversations. So we so much appreciate all that support as well. More details are going on up on exploringmindandbody.com. That's where you can find all past shows. We also have a free app that you can download on any Apple device. A quick shout out to our longtime sponsor, AG Foods in Didsbury. They're more like a health food store. They have so many healthy options. They'll even bring in foods if you ask or request for different items. They've been with us from the very beginning, and we certainly wouldn't be here without them. So check out AG Foods in Didsbury when you get a chance. And don't forget about Complete Truth Protein. This is a protein supplement we've designed ourselves, made from whole foods. It's easy to digest, to utilize, and absorb. We sell it and deliver locally or ship to wherever you may be. This is great to give your smoothies a boost of energy or for gluten-free baking. Check out more details at trueformlife.com/complete truth protein. Once again, thank you so much for being here. That's it. That's all I got. I'm out of here. As always, I'm your host, Drew Tadia, in health and fitness for a better world. Thanks for listening.
You've been listening to Exploring Mind and Body with Trueform Life's Drew Tadia, fitness expert. To find out more about the show, Drew Tadia, or to listen to past shows, visit exploringmindandbody.com.